Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
We need a dude named Eric on here that we can call Jen Eric. We're like, hey man, podcast all about you. It's Jen Eric. Just a thought. How's it going, man?
It is going. It's going a lot better now than it was, exactly 12 hours ago.
Really? On Better Breakfast Day?
What?
Something. Well, today is Better Breakfast Day.
Bed breakfast or better?
Better.
The fuck is what is? What is
today,
better breakfast?
I don't know, because today is a bunch of different days on the according to nationaltoday.com. It is either Alpaca Day, Better Breakfast Day, European Day of Languages, Johnny Appleseed Day, Love Note Day, Lumberjack Day, and the list goes on and on. It's actually many, many days attached today. Shamu the Whale Day, even, if you're into the water parks and whatever the water park, SeaWorld, if you're into SeaWorld.
Whatever it's called.
It's been a while. I haven't been to SeaWorld in many, many years.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Of that list.
Yes.
Alpaca Day? Wait,
yeah.
Are you supposed to dress up as an alpaca and then when anybody comes up to you and looks at you, you spit in their face?
I think it's just to be aware of them. We're aware that they exist.
That they provide you fucking awesome, fluffy warmth, and once it's shaved off of them, which has apparently that's what they're for. I guess I don't know.
Well, I think it's because we don't know, because we are not recognizing the other day it is today, National Situational Awareness Day. So we're not aware of such things because we lack situational awareness despite the day. So, yeah. Anyway,
that was
so 12 hours ago, huh?
As of recording, 12 hours ago, I was not in as happy of a mood as I am now.
You were working, because that's what happens.
I was
12 hours ago is
normally, Francis. Yes, I would be working. 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago. 12 hours from now, too.
Technically 12 hours from now, you'll be working. Yes.
But for my birthday,
yes,
the state.
Oh, just want to say hi to listeners, Mate and Ginger, real quick.
Oh yes, hello.
Hello.
For my birthday, I woke up and I was like, let me go to the mail and see if there's any birthday cards or something in the mail. I don't know. And I open up the mailbox and I'm like, bills, ads for stuff, coupons. Wait, what is this? This looks fairly important. Oh, it says jury summons. Oh, damn it. Thank you, state of Colorado. So for like 2 weeks now, I've been like just freaking out about it. And it was today. Everybody has their views on hey, thanks, listener mate. It was a couple weeks ago, but yes, thank you. Everybody's got their views on jury duty, whether they like it or not, and that's cool. I, for one, am not. It's not something I want to ever participate in. I chose not to pursue law for a reason. I'm not smart enough. Let other people that are smart enough and interested in law be juries or whatever. It's just not something Francis, and we have done it. We can go out someplace and get a coffee or a fucking corn dog or something, and Steve Aoki can fucking judge me in my camera holster.
How dare you? Yeah.
Right? How dare I provide that company money? That's fine. right?
Yeah.
We can go and, get the corn dog, and I can judge how, enormously expensive it is, but damn, this is the best corn dog I've ever had.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm with you 100% on that.
We could be someplace with a pack of other people that are all our friends, and somebody can walk by and we can judge them comically or whatever.
Right.
Everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's out there in podcast land, we can all go someplace and judge people when they walk by if we wanted to. I can't do it. I can't judge somebody officially. I can't live with that karma. I have
It's a lot of pressure.
I have zero interest in that kind of thing. There's.
And we
Go ahead.
We just figured out too that your jury duty is so much shorter than that of California, and I don't know what it's like in Virginia. There, listeners, mate. Luckily, you don't have to worry about it given your health. But my goodness, yours is only a few days. It was only going to be a couple day case, right? Or something.
Yeah,
like that.
one day for picking the jury, and then 1 to 3 days max for a trial.
You lose a week at max.
At max.
Yeah.
But most she kind of told us that it was all basically these were going to be 1 day sort of things.
Mm.
And everybody. See, this is going to piss people off if I say anything. Damn it. But I just feel like there's a group of people older than me that were all handed like bullet points, like as part of their growing up or something.
Yeah.
And they were told to recite these, and then anybody that ever questions jury duty, make sure you throw these fucking bullet points at them. And I've heard the same thing over. It's everybody's civic duty, and you might need a jury one day, and yeah, I might, but like I'm not comfortable doing that shit at all. No.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think most people don't like it. I think you're in good company, and the number of people who hate jury duty, and I think that you're not alone in feeling like, yeah, it shouldn't be my obligation to do it, because there should be a way to kind of be like a test or something. You're like, okay, if I pass this test, you can count me in for jury duty whenever you want, because obviously I care about this stuff. Otherwise, you're just, every time you go, you're just going to find a way to get out of it. Like, you're just going to be you're just going to go to the judge and be like, yes, I think I'm a perfect candidate because I can just look at someone and tell that they're guilty. Right? Right? You can just tell the judge that, and they're like, well, I guess we can't use you then. Because
I know that these people are guilty because the crystals told me.
Yeah, exactly.
And you change the tone of your voice when you say the crystals told me. You get real low and Barry White when you say, yeah, and they didn't.
Yeah, you lower your voice and you whisper it.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Should have thought about that this morning.
So you're gonna find a way to get out of it in one way or another. Just
most people
who want to be there. There's enough people who want to be there.
It kind of goes back to my old. It's a smart ass, shitty way at looking at things, but it's comical. So we'll use it. But if you have no interest in something, chances are you're not any good at it. Therefore, you shouldn't be doing it.
There you go.
Francis, for instance,
people.
I suck at cooking. You would never ask me to cook you breakfast, a better breakfast.
Right, because especially on
right?
National
Because
Breakfast
I have no interest in cooking.
Yeah.
Right? So that kind of goes without saying. I'm not very good at cooking.
You're telling me you've never, for a girl, cooked for a lady?
I've attempted. Didn't say it was any good, but I've followed the directions.
I mean, I'll cook for myself, but it's awful. But I go hard if it's for a lady. Well, I mean, yes.
I haven't been given that many opportunities. Well, okay, that's not necessarily true because I've dated fucking ladies for multiple years in a lot of cases.
You lived with one.
I lived with one for multiple. I mean, yeah, we didn't Didn't go all out and cook something. It was like, hey, I made
Had
you.
Eggo waffle for no reason.
Yeah, I made you better breakfast.
I
Still don't know what
wave
that.
my hand dismissively in your direction. Oh man.
But where was I going? So, like people that have no interest in cars probably suck at driving. Therefore, they shouldn't have a license. Like.
Yeah. Now you've disappointed listeners, mate, because he wanted a Denver omelet from you, and now
I mean,
he
you can
knows
get a
he cannot
Denver omelet
request
anyway. I mean, just like if you're missing Francis, just go someplace and ask it for California style, and they'll throw a fucking avocado on it, and like, there you go.
everyone. Yeah. I like a California roll.
I don't even know what a Denver omelet is.
I don't.
I think it's got ham in it. And that, what the hell is
does.
it? I mean, sure, we got pig farms here, but what's that got to do with Denver?
I think it's like Canadian ham. It's like
Which makes even less sense.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like
We don't have
actual ham.
Canadian
It's like-
pigs here.
And it's a lot of peppers. Isn't that what Denver? Isn't that what Colorado is known for? Is like salsa or something like that, right?
I mean, we put green chili on everything, but that's
Green
not
chili,
that's not
that's-
part of a fucking Denver omelet.
It isn't. I've never had. I guess I've never had it. I don't.
I'm
well,
not
it's been a while
I'm not an
since-
omelet guy. Like omelets
neither.
omelets just a fancy scrambled eggs.
Just give me the eggs.
Just yeah, don't
Put the scrambled eggs in there. Yeah,
just
that's
just
fine.
yeah, just it's all you don't need an omelet's always like overcooked. On
Let's
one
see what-
side.
let's see what listeners mates wrote.
Why can't I see what
Why?
listeners mate wrote? Do I not have like what's the word I'm looking for? Mod privileges in my own stream.
No, you do not.
No, apparently not. That's probably better. Actually, that way I don't have to see it. And to distract
I don't
me.
want to have to deal with it. Let me just do it on my own.
That's what you and Guapo are for. Thanks, Guapo, if you're here.
Not here yet, sadly.
So, where was I going? What was I talking about? Yeah, so
Uh,
I don't have a lot of interest in it. So I shouldn't be doing it because, especially, as I was telling you earlier, say it was a marijuana case. I mean,
Yeah.
Immediately I'm going to be like, I'm ready to go. This is stupid. I can work in the marijuana industry and this guy's getting arrested for marijuana. That's weird. I can't be an impartial juror in this. Say it was a DUI thing. Couldn't be impartial with that. What outside of what has, happened to friends and family that I know, right?
Yes.
Outside of that, we're in 2023. If you decide to drive drunk when there's car services available, even those scooter things available, and you decide to drive drunk, you're a fucking asshole. Like, I don't know. It's up to the law to decide what to do with you. Again, no interest, don't care. But the law should do something with your ass because you're a fucking idiot.
And yes, that's especially in Colorado. They're ginger. Yeah, I feel that weed cases should just be. I mean, even in California, which is where it's also legal, it should all just be let go, and people should be able to move on.
So I from the moment I was standing outside in the chilly air this morning, they wouldn't let us in till a specific time. The whole thing, it was just, I don't want to be here. How can I leave?
Yeah.
As soon as possible, even. And I tweeted out or X'd out, whatever, how bored I was and how I wanted to go home. It was 8:05. It was 5 minutes after officially we had been, started for the day. I was just like, darn, I want to go.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the one and only time I ever actually got called in to be a part of a jury pool, I was there for about 4 hours, and I was luckily never called up. And I didn't even do the questionnaire. They ended up just being able to fill believe they filled all of the required jury seats before it even got to me. So I just got to go home after 4 hours, which is fine, whatever. But like, I could, but I mean, I was able to endure a little bit. The fact that you're not able to do it at all is like really funny to me.
It's because, like I said, I just did not want to be there. I didn't want to participate. There was There was a lady there that was so happy. She was telling everybody about how happy she was to be there, and she couldn't wait to be picked. It was like waiting in line at The Price is Right, I bet. There were no producers walking around yet. So on the questionnaire, before I even tell you what I put on the questionnaire, Francis, I will first tell you and everybody else that the justice system is flawed, but I do believe it works for the most part. But for the purposes of me being a juror, I did not want to be there, as we discussed, and so I was writing some outlandish shit on the piece of paper. It wasn't that bad, but for dramatic effect. You go down the thing, can you be an impartial juror? And I was just like, no. As I just stated, the thing with DUIs, I had to make that, I had to nutshell what I said, but, I couldn't be impartial to DUI because my sister-in-law was killed by a multiple DUI driver, but, that and it's 2023, trying to make that all fit.
Yeah.
I work in the weed industry, so I couldn't be impartial to a drug case. One of the questions was, have you or anybody you known had a bad interaction with the police? I just went, who hasn't?
I mean, that's, again, not wrong.
Right?
Who hasn't?
Because what's your definition of a bad interaction with a police officer? That's, my version of bad is not your version of bad.
True.
Right?
Yeah, everyone has a different interpretation of what bad is.
And I also put, I can't speak for my friends or family because they're not here.
Yes.
Right. What do you do for your hobbies? Left that blank. You don't need to know that. What's that got to do with me being a juror? I had one line saved in case I did have to get called up anywhere, which was I figured a surefire thing. That if I said it out loud, they'd be like, please leave. Collect your sandwich on the way out. Have a good day. But I didn't have to get that far because check this out, Francis.
Yes.
As I'm sitting there in a room of 150 to, maybe 200 people tops. The lady comes out. She says, we have 3 cases moving forward. So we're going to need 3 juries. We have X, whatever the actual number was. Mm-hmm. So we're going to split you guys up to basically in groups of 50 plus.
Oh,
we're going to call out your name. We're going to give you a seat number, and we'll proceed from there. So I'm freaking out because I know there's 12 people in a jury. So I'm like, as long as I'm not in the first 12, I won't be in the box immediately. No, it doesn't work that way. But in my head. So they do the first 50 to 55-ish people. I'm not in that group. So they take care of what they got to take care of. And as they're doing it, I'm watching through the glass partition. Watching their actions, watching their kind of movements. I keep hearing a noise, too. I'm like, what is that? It was their scanner machine. It was rumbling against the wall. So it was just things that I was noticing.
Okay.
So they come back out and they go, all right, here's the next group of 50-ish people. My name's not included in there. Which the lady was butchering everybody's name, which was hilarious. So I couldn't wait to see what she was going to do with mine. Mm-hmm. So my name's not in the second group. I watched them again. They do what they got to do with the second group of paperwork that they had. Then they're preparing for the last group. The group that I'm inevitably what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody else has been chosen, so by choice or by deducting whatever.
By process of elimination.
By process of elimination, I'm going to be in the third group. Unless they're just like, well, if you didn't get called, you can go home, I guess. I don't know. But as I'm watching, I'm sure they would. But as I'm watching, the ladies' faces, it changed. There was panic on their faces a little bit. Not necessarily panic, oh fuck, but like, this is different. This is something changing. There's something going on. And one lady grabbed a basket, and then they both got up out of their seats and came out, which was completely different from the first two times. So in my head, I just went, I think I'm going home. One lady walks all the way to the door with the basket, and one lady gets on the podium. And she said, well, we did have 3 cases going forward today, but the defendant in the third case didn't show up, and we've had to issue a warrant. So if you haven't been called for the first 2, you've been excused and you've fulfilled your civic duty. Have a great day. So I looked down at my piece of paper. I will remind everybody, I believe in the justice system. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But for sake of purposes here, on the piece of paper.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you were frozen the whole time. At least I was able to tell a story. I don't know how much actually went out there. None of it. Great.
Are you sure? None of it?
Well, Ginger just said it was frozen. What's the last part you heard, Francis?
Well, the ladies, you knew you were making your way out. The ladies had just said
that we were excused.
Or the ladies had the basket.
Yeah. Okay, so one lady's going to the basket to the exit door, basically, and the other one gets on the podium and says, the defendant for the third case didn't show up. We had to issue a warrant. So if you haven't been called for the first 2, turn in your piece of paper. You've fulfilled your civic duty. Have a great day. So I'd look down at my piece of paper. And again, I will say, I do believe in the justice system. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And whatever, it'll come back, hopefully. Everybody in the chat's saying that we're gone. Which we might be. I don't know.
No, I think we're back. I see us live, I think.
Okay. So I looked down at my piece of paper, and one of the outlandish things that I wrote was, all crims are guilty until proven innocent. Otherwise, why would they be here? And I giggled.
Thanks, Ginger and listeners, mate.
Thank you. Yeah. I giggled because as I looked down, as I'm being told that the crim that was supposed to be here for a criminal case decided to be a crim and not show up for court. I look down and I'm like, yeah, innocent people always don't show up for court. And I just giggled and turned in my piece of paper and went home and got me a coffee.
They read it after you leave.
They said that
it's a guarantee that
I think they shred them.
Oh, they shred it.
Or they turn them in and say, okay, this person fulfilled their civic duty by coming in and sitting in a room with a bunch of people. I'll probably get COVID by sitting in a bunch of people coughing and sitting right next to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, but it's over. You're done.
For now.
And
till September of next year.
Technically. But even then, there's no guarantee you're going to get another summons in a year.
Right.
At least, for a year. For sure, you're not going to get a summons. So that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. Look.
Go ahead.
Jury.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of it.
It's not something I want to be a part of. I have no interest in the judicial system and like lawyers and other lawyers or whatever they're called, like counter lawyers. I don't even know what the fuck they're called. Right. I have no interest in it. So let people that are interested in it participate. Because think about it, if you get how many people are in a jury? 12? You get 6 people forced jury duty's forced on you. what if those 6 people all decide they don't want to fucking be there and they're just all going to decide to just whatever, right?
Yeah.
And either way, regardless of the verdict, it may or may not be the right verdict because 6 people are just like, fuck it, whatever they say, let's just go with them so we can leave.
Yes. I mean...
Or you get the one...
That's the...
There's always been a troll in fucking court cases, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have movies like the...
No.
I'm trying to fucking just... But, like, there's got to be a Pauly Shore... Well, that Pauly Shore movie, wasn't that, like, 12 Angry Men remade?
I don't think so. Was it?
I kind of think it was.
Oh, man, I hope not.
It was the court movie. The Pauly Shore court movie.
Oh, my God. If you type in Pauly Shore court movie, Jury Duty comes up.
Oh, that's what it's called? Jury Duty?
Yeah. An unemployed male stripper and certifiable slacker.
Well,
Pauly Shore ends up homeless when his mom throws him out of their trailer. Desperate for a place to stay, Collins figures out that landing a spot on Jury should get him a roof over. So he's doing it so he can stay at the mandatory...
because, he gets subpoenaed. No. Silenced.
No. If he's a part of a jury, he has to be sequestered.
Sequestered. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for.
And so he has to live in a hotel or something.
I didn't know that was the underlying plot of that movie because it's been like 20-something odd years since I've seen it. But like they're in a jury and it's a hung jury because he's like, no, wait a second. I think the guy is...
Yeah, it says...
Go ahead.
It says he will do anything to delay the jury's verdict.
Okay.
So he can keep living large and make his moves on knockout juror Monica, who is played by Tia Carrera.
Well,
oh my God,
I'm just saying, like, let people that are interested in it sign up for it, and go do it. Yeah,
my cousin Vinny, I guess. The listeners may know. Like, thank you, listeners.
My Cousin Vinny is a great movie. That movie's awesome. The Two Utes.
Well, you're now so now you can not think about it for a whole 366 days.
Yep. Now I can do what the internet was doing the other day. It's something I totally forgot to tell you, Francis. We could talk about. So instead of me obsessing about how dreadful jury duty is going to be, I can join the internet. You can join me too if you wanted to, and we can jump on the bandwagon of people upset about The Office possibly going out for a remake. And I tweeted out about this too. The people forget that the U.S. Office is a fucking remake.
It's an adaptation. It's not a remake.
The first season's a remake.
I guess so. But yeah, it's the Ricky Gervais version of The Office. That was, of course, the British know how to do it right because I think it was only like 13 episodes long or something like that. Like it's like nothing.
Not 10 years.
I think 10 seasons, or 260 plus episodes. Of The Office that
of
the
the
US
same
has,
thing
I'm like,
over and over again.
How can you make that many episodes of a show that like I kind of get the joke already pretty early on, you know?
And then once Steve Carell left, why was the show even on?
I mean, the other, it still had Rainn Wilson and
I'm not. I think they're all great in all the roles, but like the show was mostly about him. I mean, the opening scene is talking to him about how he's trying to do this, and the show's. I mean, if you look at the first episode, it kind of tells you that the show's about him, about Michael, because they're focusing so much on him.
I feel like the whole like fake documentary thing is done. Like,
well, thank God, because
Modern Family,
they just made the same fucking show over and over and over again in different settings and different offices.
They did. Modern Family was one of them.
In fact, one of the shows was like, hey, you're a really good actress in The Office. Why don't you come over here to this show? It's the same thing. I don't know what
What
actress.
show was that?
Parks and Rec, I think. There's an actress from Parks and Rec that was also on The
Oh,
Office.
well, yeah.
For
Yeah,
shorter time on
yeah.
The Office than she was on Parks and Rec, but still, just saying.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of but it's the same premise, right? It's a
Wasn't it the same
documentary
show?
team. It's essentially the same show. One set in a paper company, and the other one at a government office. Ugh. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because
Right, but they were
I
both in
don't
an
think
office, and it was the same jokes with different characters.
I agree. Listeners make that The Office, maybe Seinfeld more than The Office, but yeah, I mean The Office spawned the reality show slash documentary mockumentary slash type TV show, while Seinfeld just made it cool to not talk about anything. Right? Seinfeld made it like this is I mean that's we're
I
the
mean,
Seinfeld of podcasting.
yeah.
Right? We don't talk about anything.
Damn it. See, this is why I wish I had a gigantic sound bank right here, right? That nobody could see off the screen. It just has all these sounds, and you say that, and I just know where they all are, and I can just reach over and press the button. We can have that
One day,
the little
one
bass
day.
play, Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be well. Could we play? I don't know. I guess we'd have to get like a royalty-free version of the theme song or something.
It's just
But
play all the Seinfeld bass lines in a different key.
yes, yeah. It's all one octave higher or something,
Or the same
or it's
key,
all in
just
a minor
backwards.
key. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a dude. The theme song was just a guy making noises. Like it was mostly just a dude making noises.
I mean, you can argue, Francis, that bass playing is just a lot of making noises.
Yeah.
I'm just
Outside of the
talking
bass,
shit. I
that's
don't
true.
even know what that means.
And yes, and also listeners made I think you named the same show. It's the same show. Third Rock from the Sun and Alf are the same thing, except
Wait,
one's
what?
the humans in, because it's about like, okay,
What?
so Alf is
What
an
kind of
alien
blasphemous kind of
that is
shit are you
out
saying?
of. It's the same thing, except the aliens in Third Rock from the Sun are all human looking. If they all look like Alf, it'd be the same storyline, except they wouldn't be eating cats. I mean, no, that's not true. Um, oh no, that was Newman or the mailman. He was eating cats. Um, what's his face?
I didn't
What's
watch
her face?
I didn't watch a lot of that show. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. What's his name? Jonathan Lithgow.
Ron Lithgow.
Yeah, he's funny.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. I guess he's
The guy
funny.
with the really squinty eyes.
That guy was funny.
Yeah, he's alright. It lasted for years. That was a sitcom that lasted forever. So
Well, you know what we thought might last forever, Francis? That apparently
what did we think would last forever?
still might, but possibly might not be. The writer's strike is possibly coming to an end. So
We mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
maybe this spring we might have a couple new shows instead of just reruns of Alf, which I'm upset about, but the actors are still striking.
Well,
so they can writers can write all they want now. I wonder how many writers will decide to start writing while their actor friends are still striking. What about what about the writers that are actors?
you can separate. The good thing is you can separate them, because I believe if you're a writer and an actor, before the actors went on strike, you could still act. You just couldn't write. You can still act. So you can pick one or the other. You get an interchange between the two. Just like directors who are also writers got to direct still, as long as they weren't writing anything. That's how Ryan Reynolds was able to do Deadpool 3 without hurting anybody, because he's a writer, but he's an actor first, I guess, or whatever. Who knows? Anyway, so Good, is it good? That French Stewart. Thank you, Ginger. French Stewart's the guy with the eyes.
Hmm.
In Third Rock. Um, are you happy it's over? Is it good that it's over?
I mean, I was looking
All
forward
right.
to reruns of Alf and the A Team and maybe some Knight Rider. Oh, and some Airwolf. I was looking forward to all that. Maybe even
I like a wolf. I like a wolf.
maybe even some like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Maybe even, right? That would have been fun. Um, Old reruns of
Right.
fucking Fear Factor or something. That would have been fun. Bring Heroes back. Like just play the first season of Heroes over and over again. Um,
Well,
but I mean, hopefully they'll. I think that after the more recent writer strike that killed Chuck and Heroes and Lost and all those
it didn't kill
shows.
Chuck. People like Chuck after the
Yeah, but it was
show.
affected. It was affected by the writer strike.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so not kill, affected by the writer strike. Um,
Right.
when the strike was over, some shows did good things. Chuck and Lost come to mind, actually. Heroes, not so much. Like, I wonder how many of the shows that are out there that people love, like that Tom Selleck show, or like with the numerous cop shows that are out there, or the Ice-T show, like, when the writers are the same writers going to come back? Are they going to hire different writers? Are they going to start injecting this whole AI writing shit? Like, nobody knows yet.
So
It's all
here,
speculation.
and here's the information that I have, because yeah, Ginger's saying like the contract has to be voted on and ratified by the union. Yes, but according to the Writers Guild of America Twitter page, they are allowing writers to work again after midnight tonight. So while they're doing the ratification, while they're kind of putting everything to paper, the writers are allowed to work again. So technically the strike is over because they are actually allowed to go back to work. They're not required to continue to strike, which is good. You know, they can go and all those. I forgot this was the thing because someone had to remind me. But they're like, "Oh, late night shows are coming back." Then, I'm
Hmm.
like, all right. For like the last 6 months, late night TV was like non-existent. That's really funny.
I can't remember if it was back in the Heroes days writer strike. What was it, 2012?
Right.
Something like that? No, it was
Mm.
earlier than that. 06?
Um,
Doesn't matter. I can't remember if it was then or if it was more recent, if there was some little mini strike. But Conan, because he had no writers and he couldn't write anything, there was no show. He literally
that's
sat on his
2008, yeah.
he sat on his desk and spun his wedding ring on the desk, and that was content. And it's just amazing,
Well,
like
because
it's just amazing how many
yeah.
how many writers are involved in a comedian's show. Like,
Well, the thing is, he couldn't write himself. Like he
right.
couldn't make his own material either. 'Cause he's a writer.
But I'm just
Otherwise, he
saying.
would have
But
done
I'm just
it.
saying, it's crazy how many writers are on a comedian's show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but so changes. So yeah, expect changes. We're gonna now know how much streaming shows make from here on out. So because they have to now report how much money they make, how many people watch, things like that. So we'll have a better understanding of why shows get canceled and stuff. Um, I know there's a few cynical people out there that's like, well, that's great. They came to an agreement. That also means now that they have to give out that information and spend more money, they're just not going to hire as many writers then. They're just going to hire fewer writers because they're not allowed to use AI, which is great. I'm so glad. 'Cause as a writer myself, I'm happy to hear that because I write. But they're like, you're not allowed to use AI to make anything or fix anything. AI is not allowed, which is kind of me thinking like you're just delaying the inevitable.
Oh,
AI
sure.
is going to be a thing eventually,
Eventually,
but I'm glad
probably,
that
yeah.
they're. But I'm glad, yeah, I'm still glad though because I don't want AI to take over what I like to do, right? So, um, we'll see what happens. I mean, who knows? There are no, and there are yes. The you're right, Ginger. The actors are still on strike. So SAG is still on strike as of tonight. Some people are thinking that the writers are going to strike with the actors tonight, which is cool. Like they're going to just keep striking until the actors get a thing.
Hmm.
But the cynical people out there are just like now that all this stuff is getting revealed and and they have to share more of the pie, those executives are just going to make fewer, produce fewer things,
Mm.
and which, in all honesty, I'm okay with. How many new TV shows came out last year? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, no. I don't
Yeah,
know, 50.
500 plus new TV shows appeared last year.
Uh,
Who's watching? There's not enough people to watch that many like shows,
you
right?
know, it seems to me, Francis, when you say that,
Mm.
500 new shows, that seems to me that the executives out there, instead of coming up with 500 ideas while they snorted their thing of cocaine and throwing shit at the wall to see if it stuck, like in the 80s,
Yeah,
they're just doing all the cocaine, coming up with ideas and going, yeah, make it happen,
yeah.
make it
You're just
so.
greenlighting everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like make that show. Go ahead, make that show. Yeah, it's fine.
it
500 shows.
it's kind of like
I'm just
Francis.
saying.
It's kind of like the industry that I'm in. Sometimes companies just hire folks like it's Sears at Christmas time in
Well,
1985. And just hire everybody that comes in. The thing that you're doing, the thing that we're talking about, it's like, let's just make every show. Just everybody comes up with an idea, you get a show. You get a greenlit. We have money for it.
and yes, the yes, Ginger. Some ways 3 channels wasn't all that bad because you didn't have to like you're not inundated with stuff. And yes, also listeners made 80% of those shows. I think actually almost I would say more than 80% of those shows were streaming because you can only so many shows on cable slash network television. So
Right.
most of those shows were streaming.
I mean, you got to make room for 3 hours of, wrestling on a Monday night.
Well, I mean, think of all of the networks we don't know exist, right? Like, there's a lot of like streaming networks that are out there that we don't even know that outside of Pluto and Tubi and
Because we're into
Disney
old
Plus
shit.
and all that stuff. There's a bunch of TV, like there's just a bunch out there. So I think we're gonna get fewer shows, yay. Fewer movies, yay. Because I and the movies suck anyway nowadays. Anyway, I haven't watched a movie in the last month and a half, and I usually watch a movie every week. And I'm like, there's nothing good. There's nothing worth watching.
You
I hate
know,
everything.
since you're mentioning movies real quick, just to throw it out
Yeah,
there.
go for it. Yeah,
Uh,
throw it.
my friends got tickets to go see Back to the Future in the theater, one night only,
Do it.
like next
Do it.
month or something like that. I
Yeah.
hope it's on November 5th. It probably isn't, but it'd be cool if it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Are you
definitely. I'm
and
and
you're
I'm
going?
def. Oh yeah, for sure I'm
Oh.
going. Just you mentioned movie, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I live by the Twin Pines Mall slash Lone Pines Mall. Uh, they'll occasionally they haven't since like the 30th anniversary. They might do it for the 35th, what they think is this year. Um, they did like a little mini Back to the Future convention where people would bring their DeLoreans, and they would bring somebody had the van or yeah the van that Doc uses
The box
to hold the
truck.
plutonium. Yeah, the box truck. Um, and then they do a big outdoor screening of Back to the Future.
Mm.
Um,
What
because again, we are Lone Pines slash Twin Pines Mall.
what is the actual name of the mall?
Puente Hills Mall is the name of the mall.
No.
But yeah,
And
that
why
mall,
haven't
which
you taken the cheesy picture where where the Twin Pines sign was? Why haven't you taken that picture?
I've done it, or I did years ago. Like
Oh,
I did like when it was the 30th anniversary.
no.
I have that picture, but it's on the Instagram somewhere, so it's there somewhere. But it's a dead mall anyway. It's sadly one of those malls that are just like the only thing that's left in there is an arcade and a movie theater, and
Mm.
everything else is just crickets. Makes me
I
sad.
mean, the mall, regardless, put a name in there. The mall is a dead thing anyway now. I can't even
Yeah,
tell you the last time I went to the mall.
yeah, I agree to a degree. I think there's just like how everyone made when conventions were a thing, everyone did a convention. So everyone made a convention when the conventions were big. And now I was actually talking to our mutual friend Heather, who was like, all those conventions are gone. All those little conventions that people made after like when conventions were popular and like every little town wanted their own comic book convention, gone. The vast majority of them gone.
Hmm.
It's now just the big wigs and whatnot.
The ones that were
So
there before.
the ones that were there before, and a couple of new ones that still exist, right? But most of them gone. So and I think that's just the case for malls. There are some malls that still exist. I go to a couple of them that are big and bright and beautiful, and people still go, and people are like super excited, and you just see all like the teenagers hanging out like in mall rats, and the adults like at the food court gossiping or whatever. Like it's the same thing. The mall of the 90s still exists, but there's so few of them now, just that much, just so much fewer. But I'm like, it's the Twin Pines Mall. It's Lone Pine. It has historical value.
Hmm.
Don't get
Hmm.
Let that mall live. Like somehow find a way to make that mall live, because that's a historical mall, because it was in one of the best movies ever made. Anyway,
I just think instead of tearing malls down, use them as some sort of convention. We've talked about this, but use them as
did you
some
say
sort
they
of convention
in
area.
the convention? You have a mall that turns into a
Uh,
convention, don't
it's
you?
it, it's a mostly dead mall,
Yeah.
and then one of the anchor stores one of the old anchor stores now holds the convention. So you have to walk through a half dead mall to get to the convention, and
So
that's
sad.
just sad. But if
Yeah,
the
that
whole
is sad.
mall was the convention, that would make sense. But
Looks like Ginger's oh, sorry, gone.
I think those days are dead. Go on now.
I think so too. I think that there are very few malls left. But yes, Ginger's enjoying a show that I want to watch, actually, called The Continental, which is a prequel to the John Wick series. She says it's great.
No,
Don't want.
it's a theater in Denver, actually.
Oh, The Continental is great. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, never mind then. Sorry, 'cause that's the name of the new show. I'm like, oh, don't watch a lot of TV as a whole, but this is no. She says don't
Oh,
watch a lot of TV as a
oh,
whole, but this
okay.
is really good. So
All right. Well,
I'm assuming it's the Continental TV show.
that must be. I
Which is
never
good,
heard of it.
which I want to see because it looks good. It's set in the 70s, and
Hmm.
it's pre John Wick, which I'm a huge fan of John Wick
I've
movies.
watched 15 minutes of a John Wick film, and I went, I don't know what's going on here. And
You have to watch the first one.
yeah, I think it was the
Just
fourth
watch the
one
first
that
one. Don't watch anything past the first one.
it was just weird. I was like,
Don't watch
am I
anything
watching
past
an
the first one.
anime or a fucking movie? Like, couldn't tell.
Yeah, just watch the first one. That's all. That's one I think is the best one still. The other ones are just like, do you want to see Keanu Reeves be a badass?
Hmm.
Yes, because he's great at it, but also that's all it is. Mr. Smith says, I know a lot of churches and civic organizations buy malls and repurpose them for their. Yes, yeah, that's true. Repurpose them for their organizations. I've seen a lot of um, m- what were once mega malls turn into kind of like big
Mega
church
churches.
congregations, mega churches, sort of. Um, and then Ginger says, even though I see that we're spinning in Twitch. Oh, there we go. So Ginger says, convert them to studio apartments for low-income homeless or the homeless. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of space. I mean, that's what they were. That was kind of the
I think that's
recommendation for when people
what they
were.
should do with golf courses at night.
Well, no, you need them more than just at night. You need them
Well, I'm just
all the
saying. I
time.
mean, like, there's some place that everybody can sleep. It's unused land at night. Nobody golfs at night.
Well, yeah,
You know,
yeah, I agree.
there's
That's a good
trees.
idea.
There's grass. I'm just saying.
There was a recommendation that a lot of land or a lot of businesses that have their workers working from home because they don't use their offices anymore should be turned into low income apartments and stuff like that. Just have to install a shower.
I mean, there are a lot of mostly to totally empty buildings, even in my area of town here. Even one of the major cable providers in Denver has a building down the street from where I live that has been empty since March of 2020.
Oh.
And we're 3 years from it, and it's still, I drive past it every day. It's empty. Like, there's somebody there. There's security vehicles there, but there's no employees that, drive there every day unless there's, like, trucks that show up. But as far as, like, a call center, which I'm pretty sure is what that is, that's down the street from me, there's no call center employees showing up every day. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's going to be an issue for a while. I think is learning what to do with all of that space, all of that open space.
I know people pretty close to me that have been working from home for years now. Their companies are really pressuring them to either come up with some sort of hybrid schedule or telling them that they need to come back to the office.
Yeah, but I think a lot of places are like mine, where I work for a company that's home base is 9 hours from me, so I can never commute into the office.
Sure.
Because it's a 9-hour drive, and I think a lot of people are becoming like that, where you could live anywhere. I mean, my company has someone who lives in a completely different state working for them, and that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of those.
I feel like I should.
A lot of the jobs that I've had that weren't retail or, customer facing, there's no reason why any of those jobs I couldn't have done remotely.
Yeah, but remote is such a new thing.
Right? It is. Like, it is. Granted, like in 95, I couldn't have done what I was doing for a satellite provider from my house. There's just no way. I was barely able to.
56K modem?
Yeah, I was on a. And speaking of 56K modems, this was like 95, 96, and I was on a fucking dummy terminal.
Right. Yeah, you would have been a 14.4 or something, or 12.8 or something like that. It would have been awful.
Either way, it was like 97, 98, something like that. I was on a dummy terminal. I didn't even have my own PC at my desk. I just had a monitor and a keyboard that I plugged into a trunk line.
Yeah, so you plugged into a remote desktop of some sort, it sounds like.
I mean, kinda. It was just a dummy terminal. It was just.
Yeah. But your workstation was a server. It wasn't like a computer that was at your desk. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like you.
Oh, look at that! See, Ginger's manager is in Minnesota, and she has coworkers in Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's too bad I don't know where you're from there, Ginger. So otherwise I'd be more. No, I'm kidding. I know where you are, but I don't know. Obviously, the audience does. But I mean, that's pretty impressive, though. I mean, given that we know where you are, like that's pretty cool. Like you have out of state. You essentially work for someone in a completely different part of this country, which is impressive. Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
It is. It's funny. A lot of people can do their jobs remotely. If I do my job right outside the front door of the building, I'm a criminal. So figure that out.
I should move to Colorado.
I mean, I've been saying that for years.
Josh and I can live in this. We can live in the POI house. We'll call it the POI house. right? And then we won't have to remote record anymore. We can do it in person.
That's true.
And then there won't be a delay because we'll hear each other, like because we're sitting across from each other, and that's the way it should be.
It should be. Hopefully that fixes. Well, that doesn't. Well, that would definitely fix things. But
Yeah,
we have the
I would get
technology.
better internet.
Well, we're working on the better internet thing because it just it got delivered while we're talking here. So hopefully,
I love it.
hopefully better internet is on the next show. But there's something you mentioned while you were just talking there, and it reminded me of something I went and did this past weekend. And then we have one little thing after this, and then we'll get out of here. But
why did Ginger see the keys under the mat? That's funny. I don't know what that means.
I guess so you can
Oh, there you go.
stay there, I guess. So this is kind of funny, tie it in with a jury duty. But my main group of friends, we try to go do things every couple months and all get together because we're getting older as folks do. And, not everybody has time to do things. So we try to carve out some time so we can all go be friends and go do something friendly together. Well, somebody in the group suggested that we went to a place called Mystery Playhouse Theater. And I just started dreading it, much like the jury summons. That is this going to be one of those places with like a lot of audience interaction, and I don't really want to deal with that. I just want to eat my food, have some laughs with my friends, and go home. Well, we went to a theater playhouse thing. It was the whole mystery. I keep wanting to say Mystery Science Theater.
That's what I keep thinking you're going to say. Yeah. And then you just stop yourself. And I'm like, all right.
But Mystery Playhouse. So the players were the food servers as well, which was weird. Because I was like, why is the server talking on a microphone right now? I'm confused. All officially and shit. But as people were, eating and whatnot, the players were also asking who wants to be involved. And everybody at my table, very verbally outside the building, talked about how they don't want to be involved whatsoever in this. And I was like, well, why the fuck are we here then? Like, if none of you...
It's fun to observe. It's fun to watch.
Sure, and it was. It was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. But I'm like, why would you sign us all up for something that is, Rocky Horror Picture Show with fucking food that you get to eat first? And you're not interested in that. Why would you sign the rest of us up to do that too? But
that's weird.
But we all had a good time. Nobody in our table really got, messed with. The main character, if he wasn't charismatic and funny and witty, it would have been a slog. It would have been a 2-hour slog because it was cringy. It was super cringy. There's horrible acting.
Well, so they were doing the movie in, like, there wasn't a movie you were watching.
No, this was acting out.
Acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't enough people, so the main character had to play 2 characters, which was funny as well.
That's why I don't like comedy shows. Because if you're in the front row of a comedy show, you become part of the act.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
the
okay.
will always pick on the front row.
Much like Gallagher, some people showed up to be in the front row.
Splash Zone.
Speaking of what was that place called with the fucking whale that's in California? Like it's protests. SeaWorld. You fucking sit too close to the thing, you're in the splash zone for the Shamu, shitty whale water to splash you, and you smell like shitty whale water for the rest of the day.
Yummy. Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with all that.
You were just that.
Yeah, but like you sign up for that sort of thing. Like when you buy
Right.
the tickets to the front row of Gallagher, or you sign up for the front row ticket to Shamu, you planning on getting wet.
If you plan on sitting in the front row of a comedy show, expect to be talked to, expect
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
questioned.
Well,
Which
guess
only
what?
happened to me once, and I hated every second.
Well, guess what table we were seated at? Table number 1.
But it's everybody though. It's restaurant wide. It's not like there's a stage, right? It's like everyone in the
No, there was
restaurant.
a stage.
Oh, there was a stage.
Mm-hmm. It was mic'd up and
That was
everything.
fun.
It was great.
Oh, that
For
sounds
some
fun.
reason, they made us all get up and do some to the left, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the right, kick, 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 spin around,
Yeah,
dance.
it's you know,
I don't
you've been to
know.
a game show, right?
No, this was like some song.
No, I know, but like
Oh.
it's the same thing that with game shows. In
Oh.
game shows, there's a hype man who gets the audience like excited, right? Like that's the whole purpose of the hype guy. He's like during commercial breaks,
Oh, gotcha.
you know, like,
Gotcha.
all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do, and like, and gets everyone pumped up.
Well,
So
they took a
cheer,
commercial break
from the screen
apparently,
wrestling thing.
and they all tried to get us to
To the left thing.
to the left and the right, kick and spin dance to the song, and I was like,
Yeah.
I did it once just because okay, we can do it. Not the hokey pokey. Although that would have been funnier and probably a lot more fun. But yeah, they did like the entire verse of that song to the left, to the right, kick and spin thing. I don't know who that is, but that's
I don't know.
all.
They do it at a. They do it at our local amusement park, Knott's Berry Farm. They have a whole thing where they have the audience do the different little dances. At least it was not the Tootsie Roll or something.
The
Could have been
Macarena
the Tootsie
or
Roll.
some
It could have
shit.
been the Macarena. Could have been, any one of those. So
The
kinda
sprinkler
lucked
would have
out.
been fun because then you just would have been slapping people next to you.
Or the Cabbage Patch. Or the running. What dances that haven't been relevant since the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to bring those back.
Yeah, we should. Well, I mean, they never left in my head. I can't do any of them.
I just want somebody to
but,
put. You could do the Too Legit to Quit.
I'm
hand
pretty
signs.
I'm pretty lacking in the fucking rhythm category.
You have the soul. You don't have the rhythm, but you have the soul.
Look, man, my fucking right foot can find the beat of anything. But the problem is only my right foot can find the beat of anything. The rest of my body, I look like a fucking, well, I was gonna say something that wouldn't have been nice to say. I just look like a drunken fool. So no, I don't
Well,
dance.
Yeah.
I can do that
the
slow
only time
dance
I was ever-
waddle thing, where you get real close with your lady person or whoever, right? And you do that waddle to the slow dance, right? And then you're like, yeah, that's not my cell phone in my pocket.
Yes, the few times I've had to dance, like in high school proms and my wedding, I had to dance. That was unfortunate.
As is tradition.
Yeah, but at least I didn't. I had a buddy of mine who danced to. Oh my God! Everything I do it for you. What's his face?
Chris Isaac?
From Chris. No, you're close. Not Chris Isaac. Is it Chris Isaac?
I don't know.
You know what song? You know what song I'm talking about, right? It was in the. It was everything. It was in the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves soundtrack.
Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams, yeah. So that was his.
Oh man, my brain
buddy.
hurts now. You maybe just reach back into the fucking 90s music category.
Oh man, everything to do. Like, he had that really weird, like, bravado. I don't know. It was just a very strange voice, but yeah. God, what a terrible song. But anyway,
I went to there was some early 2000s. There was some record store that was like, "Hey, we have free tickets to this concert if you show up." And I was like, hell yeah, girl I'm dating, drive me to this thing that we're already out and about. She was already driving. So drive me to this record store. Let's go get tickets. Free tickets to the show that I wanted to go to anyway, that you don't want to go to. But if it's free, it'll be easier if you go with me. So she goes, I'll drive you there, but you'll have to go get tickets. So I go in and I get one free ticket. And I was like, hey, I know we're only supposed to get one, but you think maybe I can get another one for my lady that's out in the car? And, well, she has to come in. Well, she's not gonna. So can I just get it? I'm like, well, you got to sing a song for us then. And I'm like, okay, what's it going to be? And it was that Whitney Houston song, the Bodyguard song, I think.
Oh. Yeah.
I think.
I mean, she's the only one. It was either her or Dolly Parton.
No, it was definitely. Okay, so yeah, it was the Whitney Houston. And they were like, sing, you know the song. Don't pretend like you don't know it. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, I kind of know like the chorus, I guess. I get a little bit of it. Like, just do some of it, so we can laugh at you.
Your voice, dude.
Right. So I butcher it for like fucking 10, 15 seconds. And they laugh at me. Ha, ha, ha. You guys will do anything for tickets. And then gave me this, second set of tickets, and I left. And it was embarrassing.
Well, that's good. Well, yeah. Oh, man. Good job, though. Well done.
I guess I really wanted to go to that show.
For free.
For free. I mean...
Yeah. And I was like...
If you had a choice to go to a show and pay $60 a ticket or go to a show for free, which line are you going to be in?
I guess I'm singing Whitney Houston, I guess.
Fucking Bryan Adams or Chris Isaac or something like that.
Yeah. I'm actually, it's been a while since I've been to a wedding. I'm actually kind of curious what is the wedding music now. Like, what did kids dance? Like, what did the youngins dance to?
The sound of shoplifting. I don't know. Every time I open up the internet, that's all I see is fucking...
I know, me too.
People just with trash cans and shopping carts and trash bags, again, just full of stuff, and people just watch it happen. And you go, yeah. I mean, I probably would too, honestly, even if I was in loss prevention, because at some point, people are going to do what they're going to do, and if they're that desperate, let them do it, because it's not worth getting punched or shot or stabbed.
Well, that's what you're taught, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like more and more of these videos are coming out where it's the workers fighting back, and oftentimes I find it more funny than it is like, haha. Well, I mean, and I also kind of feel like, oh, that's okay, that's all right, that's kind of cool that they're fighting back. I mean, it's dangerous. I don't want anyone to get like the innocent getting hurt,
right,
or anything. But like, there's that one video that's made the rounds where this guy was stealing cigarettes and throwing it into a trash bag.
I saw that one.
And
today.
then all of a sudden, yeah, and the two owners, the two workers come by, one pinning one to the ground, the other one with like this gigantic stick, just whacking the guy over and over again with the stick.
Whacking him in the legs. That's such a gangster ass. That's such a gangster ass thing to do. Just fucking whack someone in their legs.
And it's kind of satisfying to watch. I'm like, oh, good for you guys. Like, it's just cigarettes, because who cares? But still, it's kind of like, okay, justice. Like, okay, I get you. Whack, whack, whack.
I got to assist on this takedown of a crim at the old Rackstrom's store.
Of a crim.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And so I got to play backup, but when we initially made contact, the crim in question tried to make one subtle little movement to try and get away, and then he was a perp at that point, and the guy that was stopping him did something, and then the guy wasn't fighting back anymore, and my job was to hold back the family that was coming in for backup. But
So it's okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
there's nothing to see here.
No need to
Nothing
crowd.
to see here. Move along. There's nothing to see. What was the point of me bringing all that up?
Because I was just saying how you were saying how you were seeing crime happen a lot in your feeds.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there may have been a little crime that happened right there, when the guy stopped biting, but
Yeah.
there might have.
Just
It's all perspective, I guess, right? When
That's
someone tells you to stop and they're already in a bear hug and you try to move and then they squeeze you really tightly and you're not moving anymore. I mean, like, maybe you got thrown to the ground too, but you got squeezed really tightly.
Speaking of bear, that's the other weird viral video that's been making the rounds, was the bear who ate. You saw that, where you just the mom and the kid are like sitting at like a park bench, and the bear's on top of the table eating their food, and she's just hiding the little boy's head, and the dude's just recording, standing there recording the whole thing, and I'm like,
which is why I think that video's some bullshit. That's like a trained bear or something, because
I think so too. Yeah.
First of all, why would you just record some shit without being like, "Hey, wifey poo," or "Hey, lady, random lady," like, fucking leave. We'll get out of there before all that happens. No, the bear eats some shit off the table. I didn't watch the whole video, and then I did see the end of it where it kind of
the bear just eating.
Yeah, and then it walks away in like a fenced-in kind of parkish looking area. I call some bullshit. There's some shenanigans in that video. I call shenanigans.
I just get some entertainment from it.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
again, Francis, like, all crimes are guilty, so all videos are sus.
Yeah. I mean, some of it, again, like, I'm thinking, man, we were thinking of we were talking about topics before the show today, and I'm like, these aren't topics, what we're talking about right now aren't topics, but they were viral, like they made the rounds in which people were talking about it for days. Like, there's that one video of a guy, I guess he's a street busker, he plays the piano. It's just some dude playing a piano, right? And then there's this woman who smacks the piano keys at one point and walks away, and then comes back and then destroys the setup and steals his tips, steals the dude's tips, and just walks away. Nobody stops her. Nobody does anything. She just is just like, I'm gonna hit your piano and I'm gonna take your money, and no one's gonna stop me, and no one did. But
shit, you put me in that. I see someone taking somebody's money like that. Someone's getting kicked in the stomach.
Well, that's the thing, right? Nobody did anything. They helped the guy up. They're like, "Oh, we'll help your setup and everything." But it was a piano keyboard and stuff.
But if we remember back to last week's show, I'm also the motherfucker that when I find out that something's about to happen, I pop popcorn and watch and wait for it to happen. You
would have done it here, because this was a really weird scenario where this woman, where he was just trying to busk. He was just playing piano for people, and people were like enjoying just listening to this guy play. And this woman just came back twice to interrupt him, and the second time again taking his money. And there was a little bit of internet justice that kind of makes me giggle a little bit, but they found out who this person was. They ended up doxing this person. Which I'm not for. I don't think doxing is good, but they doxed her anyway, and she's been harassed by people for being such a terrible human being. So I kind of feel like, okay, good, she got her comeuppance a little bit, so that's kind of nice. But it was a really strange, thing.
I'm the guy that bitched at everybody and talked a bunch of shit to people at the grocery store all through 2020 that didn't have a mask on.
Right.
Apparently I'm becoming old enough to bitch at people that don't put their shopping cart away either. There's a guy in front of me.
Sure. I mean, look.
There's a guy in front of me today emptying out his stuff out of the cart, and I could tell from his body language he was just getting ready to get back in the car. I thought I said it under my breath. I didn't. Apparently at all, because he heard me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, "You gonna take your cart back, you lazy fuck?" And he looked up at me, and he was short of English, but he understood what I said. I'm guessing he was Italian because he did this a lot to me. He was an arm waver. And I was just like, "Don't be lazy." And I got in my car and backed up and drove away. And I could see him like take the cart to the little cart return thing, and he like, with great force, Francis, not threw it, but pushed the cart into the cart return with much force. And I can see it in my rearview mirror, and I just giggle.
Too scared of the way, I'm too scared of the internet. I'm too scared of like what may happen.
Maybe that's fair.
Someone will find out where I live and slash my tires, for instance.
Hey, well, here's the commercial for the webcam, and that why not the webcam, the dash cam.
Dash cam is important.
Yeah, there is always that risk, right? And just like with anything else, you got to kind of fucking weigh it out, right?
Yeah.
If the dude was 20 years younger than me and 150 pounds of, doesn't matter what kind of mass, but 150 pounds more mass than I have, I probably wouldn't have said anything, right? But he was an old man, not an old man, like, I'm too old to fucking do it. But, I mean, you rolled the shit out to your car. You can roll it the other 10 feet to the fucking return instead of leaving it there in a parking spot like a lazy bitch. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, sometimes I forget. Apparently today was one of those days I forgot to actually put the filter in front of my face. But, I've been punched in the face before.
That's not what I'm worried about. Just, yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
It's just the world is just weird.
It is. It is. And, everybody has fucking guns and you should be careful. And I'm totally aware of it. But
I didn't even think about that part. That didn't even cross my mind. It's just all the other stuff that people are willing to do, Like, people have fewer scruples. There's less courtesy and more of like, I'll do what I want, It's like, oh, okay, that's the world we live in now. That's cool.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. As a person who isn't a fan of rules of really any kind, I guess there are some out there that are for the betterment of society, and unwritten rules like, put your fucking card away. Do you want your car to get hit by a random cart that some lazy bitch didn't fucking put away? No. Because that's what's going to happen. That's how karma works, right? Maybe the karma of me talking shit to all these people is I'm going to get punched in the face. I'm Irish. I can fucking take it.
All right. Anyway.
I don't have anything else to say. Once I sit here and start talking shit to the internet about how fucking not really tough I am, I think it's time to go. Whatever. Francis, where can people find you on the internet?
There is a show called Super Geeked Up that's live tomorrow, just like this show, but we do improv games. We don't talk about like what's happening in the world. We just play improv games and ask geek questions. See us live at supergeekedup.com. We'll have some, I think they're YouTubers. I don't remember. We got guests.
There's people coming.
Yeah, there's people coming. So go check it out. But yeah. At AKA the guy on Twitter and Instagram. And be on the lookout for a potential new podcast that I'm thinking of doing. Because I want to do conventions again. I feel like podcasting is the only way to get back to conventions. I mean, so we'll see what happens.
It's worked so far. It's worked so far for us.
It worked so far.
What was I going to say? Oh, you can find me, Lister's Mate. You got to stop fucking writing stuff that keeps getting censored.
They're all links. Yeah, they're
links don't work. Links don't work, bro. You can find me on the internets at 303_ninja, 303ninja on the Instagram. Email us at the POI Podcast at gmail.com. Call, voicemail, text. Maybe we'll have you on the show if I can get my phone charged up enough to do this. 314-764-7631. I think that's everything. We'll be back here next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. I don't know. We're out of here. Yes, the Bat Tuesday. What was your favorite TV Catwoman, Francis? If it isn't Eartha Kitt,
really?
you're wrong.
Oh, there you go.
So she was Eartha Kitt was awesome. Julie Newmar was probably my favorite, but
wasn't Eartha Kitt only in the movie?
No, Eartha Kitt was on the show.
Oh.
We'll talk about it next week.
I know there's one Catwoman that's only in the movie. Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Bye.